The Persons with Disability Act 2006 defines a person with disability as someone who has a physical or mental impairment that has a substantial and long-term adverse effect on his or her ability to carry out normal day-to-day activities. The observance of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities aims to promote an understanding of disability issues and mobilize support for the dignity, rights, and well-being of persons with disabilities. Voice Ghana, an NGO managed for and by persons with disabilities, posits that currently about 10% of the total world population, or about 650 million people, live with a disability. In particular, an estimated 253 million people worldwide are also blind or partially sighted, according to the World Blind Union. This year, as part of the observance of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, I spent some time with two visually impaired families. The news team first visited the Kofieji family in Kumo-Badmasi in the Setre-Kumo district of the Ashanti region, whose entire membership of 6 are blind.
Ya wo me na menye ni freni nti me ko school edru gauge me wie GSS na mkosu amazing adwuma 3 years me ko Badmasi Presby GSS nti me kosu amazing ne 3 years nti me gusu ameye amazing no ana afi na mani no eye me hu ade papa nti me ko Agogo hospital to hon mo na me ko akusi se edru sometimes we afi na my total brand na mintimi nyehwe me total brand na mo 30 years nti mo ana yam de tititi face anti na me niwe no in the left no me table a isi me dem na one time me koto mafade wase ena mani ne board table no so ne paye nti konfano chinam di ho akone abasa enu so nti chire no ena mani right no so doctor ka chire me say pressure baso na pressure no betimi akreti yi bi ama me ani no betimi apai one time ampa Saturday bi me kakra kwa sori e pon ye no ameba no na me hu se mani na apai paye no dedika no anini nsu no ene baaye egu matade mti echire na moja ba nti ofa mitrim ne me body ni nyina na fi se maye yipa omde me ko Agogo hospital no so me me surgery ma omuyi ni nyina free ho no pacho se ni de minkuta adwuma bia according to blind na ye nti no se ye kase ye de ense ye adwuma bia ma ebia obi aba beto ana obi aba beto ama ye yi ya na mo no ombuye nti no yentimi mfa ye nsa anya adwuma ma obi emebo nti bia nyame boa na se unya government work bia na no so odo ho ahye me de o ya mant ne so a ya binya udali bread
kan we school is okoboa papa o ku adwuma m kakra ansa na o pa adwuma bi o do akoto adwuma to mu ho no ana da komisori ene se miftim mempaso ati abehwefo ese no eso se na ya de boni bi ena abeji tie pemso a eja ebra ase kakra kene mu na me free papa ho ba ifia na papa nua ba ko nso yesto no yese me meboa na kakra se de me nso me tifie kwa me nya me no aduan so no ane nkoyi na je boss yari ekinchini ya ne Yakopon ya adoma sa ayini free na nu akire na afunu mahu se mani no enso na papa na me no wosto me kompreni ma no o se ne kofi no ma bibia clinic bi wo fijas oyoko yani ayekwa yeso na papa na ma me tutu ana mo ko ho akwaji ye do buso na sa amre no so na se afire na ye mo esa de do buso afire na se aye sracha ki amanti mi ankosua adwuma bia asese si anso besini ni insanu adwuma bia medidi ho anase tese ko fo adom said we can never bo mam so minya utimi enya bibidi I say is ya no kra no ma se kire mu nye is ya say ba sa kan you say na mani nye se mi anam no maduane ene yi nam sa ya de no be kam is ya na me koja ho kra ko duane kra na abom hu is me bia we nso yi wan hwe ya naja wakoto gem ni ade nchi no ama is ya na mitimi nkoja ho nkoya bibia ti bibia ni a se be da me ma me na se me da obi se ama nso wa se mo akoye mobo se ba sa no obi a chimi se yade na abeto me nchi no bo ho no mu a ne ohun na se obese na bo ko hiam si anu wusu obo nso hiam na ja woni bi kura na ja awre chichire se na se nkura nche na ode ma bo nso na ja ne kofije 1 cd na fa to bibidi nse me de chichire chi ho no na wanye scan kura no papa se bia wanye obi kura se wo soma na mana koto aduane kura abere wo no eno so kura
So has there been any instance a brave abada said what nasi if you are not unya obi nsuma nti and obi maami ni fia obema obi die di nti what nasi saa oyem da hopan undidie
oni bebre we say unya obi nsuma no ni skanish obotom kura no a wana osuma na koto aduane no e de abrewo ense no no so akoye
Adjoadoma is wife of Solomon Kofi AJ.
Me go school no, me do be class 2 next 30 na obaako. Nti o hwa na na ayeko yare bi an sheda ma sisi. Ti me dey go hospital na doctor na yeso be operation. Nti me call ya afere do e be so wa ya enye. Na me dey go nti me wie Jesus no. Na ebe kan ba ko na aka na menti me anko bebe bi.
Nti wie Jesus so ntimi anto asodi.
Me ba cho David.
Na say dia na ma me ka say oka say ekwapim school e wo ho no o ye say obeko anawa na o ye wa say Jesus a me wie de enya de ameto asodi.
E ba cho na de obebo me no ase ma me ne papa nyina afiri mu ndi na de obebo no me nyu obi obebo me ntimi anko bi.
She burst out in laughter when I inquired how she met her husband.
But I am commodity man, I didn't know you come meeting and you push here and the one.
It's now also free room.
Maybe I should have been free, but quite a bar.
It's now committee.
Near Kumasi.
Into Kumasi now the share open.
Maybe I try.
As part of efforts to empower persons with disabilities, the government of Ghana in 2005 introduced the Disability Fund, currently 3%, which is deducted from the District Assembly Common Fund and paid to a separate account under the District Assembly. What difference is this allocation making in the lives of the intended beneficiaries like Solomon AJ and his family?
Fund no PWD fund no omo echemaye ema members na the woman say ene PWD organization no aye more you say 9 organization our district bia the whole Ghana nti ama fund no so a eba no small intimi enso nti ama ye no kakra said the ebe ntinye se bia kota no eba kota abanye so de ba kota bia nso kota no eba nye yenyina na beso yeso eye kakra.
He however advised visually impaired persons and other persons with disabilities not to resort to begging for alms along the streets.
Two members no for say saade no enye ema omo nye Yeshua impaired no ekasa etia Yeshua impaired omubu ya bonfia entitem bia no yenso ekasa tia saade no de yenso ye hwe se ka ebenya support bi ana de donor bi na omo abeboaye no omo amaye support bi a yenso ebitimi de aye yensa no adwuma yenso ebididi.
As I spoke to them, I kept wondering how their mother has dealt with the issue, especially in a community like Badmasi that believes so much in superstition.
Somebody said, "Be ye because be you nianu, send a be ye na. I am sir. As I am SM manasa. Then you mean who to me bomb be ye nam Timicasa. Be ye de say niano, and a be ye so give me crop and my yen near my fe say. Nam dem be ye say, some market a cheese say. Some ma papa be say. Now me dim be ye no, as me madde. Some me gimme into Naman Abassa. And me di one yaw. See, I tell me to him. A yaw no. I said, dear, Messi, I won't nipa. Na, my former. It's me a near Macassi, I can see, na. Miss Macassi, me massy, and the massy. Na, Ambassa. Isn't the one ya, papa. Any year pra was as he saw. Any year, this is Libya, Yadia come, Yadia becoming so. Nanya, I've been game, a conductor say, ya can't the beer until to the pressure drink. Now, means I need part their one way say, wow, bread, our cow men before women, and one so dear.
From Kumo Badmasi in the Ashanti region, my next point of call was in Twaso, a small community in Nsawam in the eastern region.
We have arrived in Twaso. Twaso is in the Nsawam Adwejiri municipality or constituency. We are here to see Robert Mensah, who is a teacher and also visually impaired. We'll find out how a day in his life also looks like. Come with us on this journey.
Robert, who was expecting us, had already lined up some chairs for our reception.
Good morning.
Soon, Robert was ready for school. Each day, he waits for a student to aid him to and fro school. Despite his impairment, he supervises the kids to tidy up the school compound. Joyce Pado, headmistress of Ntwaso Basic School, described him as one of the most punctual teachers.
When I came to meet him, yes, initially I was surprised seeing such a teacher with that disability, teaching children without the disability. But honestly speaking, he has been very good in lesson delivery. The way he carries about his daily, his teaching activities is marvelous. He's very good. He even comes to school earlier than some of the normal teachers. When I say normal, the teachers without disability.
When I inquired if he was born visually impaired, he smiled, recounting how beautiful his childhood was as a normal child.
It was nice playing with your friends, your brothers and sisters. Going around, playing football. I mean, it was cool. It was good. I started education or schooling in the early stages of life as quotes and in quotes normal child begins school. But I think somewhere class 2, class 3, my teacher then discovered that I have sight problem. So she asked me to bring my mother to the school. My mother was informed. So I was sent to Kolebu and to other hospitals. And it happened that I have to continue my education in School for the Blind, Ekopong. So I started that one, I think somewhere around 1989, somewhere there. So I started, we have a special class for beginners called rehabilitation. the name suggests what we do or what is done at the rehabilitation class. We are basically taught braille writing and reading, how to work mathematics, and I mean basic things to help you fit into the school system.
For you as a child, living such a very conducive environment to one enclosed place, you don't know anyone, you are starting a whole life, a whole new life. How was it?
Actually, I took it normal because all that I needed then was education. So after sitting at home for about 2-3 years and moving to a school, I was happy. When I got there too, I saw a lot of people with the same condition, and some even have worse conditions. So I took the challenge. You see, you have to accept the condition in which you find yourself before you can, move on.
At what point did you realize now it's getting worse?
Okay, that was around 1999, 2000, when I realized that now it's difficult for me to walk alone. I have to use the cane, I have to use the guide, and so that was where I was really feeling the pain. But we have friends and teachers who always encourage us. They will tell you, you get better, you can make it, and continue working hard. This thing will just pass.
So then you were around JHS, completing JHS, or you have completed?
1999.
You were in SHS?
SHS, yes. After that, I had admission to PTC, or Presbyterian Training College. Now they have given it another name, so Presbyterian College of Education. Okay. But we still call it PTC because that's what we know. So after that, I completed 2004, and I was posted to Ewukugwa United JHS, where I taught English language and social studies for about 4 years, and I went for further studies in UGW, University of Education, Winneba. There I read special education and social studies.
So how difficult was it converting from the everyday beautiful life where you can just pick a book and then read to brailing?
It's difficult, but if you have a strong mentality, you quickly adjust, then you move on. Because I wanted to even match up with my friends at home, because they were far ahead of me. I was in class 3, class 4, class 5 there, while some of them were in JHS. So normally when I get home, they ask me, Charlie, who was class man? Then I say, Charlie, me was SS. I didn't want to even add a J so that I told them, Charlie, me was SS. So always the SS are like.
Did you at some point face discrimination and rejection?
Oh yes, no, it's normal. I'm sorry to say it's normal, but you understand, it's normal.
Can you recount any?
I remember in the secondary school, for example, we were about 12 in a room.
That was in
Okapemai, yes. And at times when we were in the room, we used to joke a lot. But when you come out and you met your friend and want to share the same joke, then you try to brush it off, meaning that he doesn't want, or they don't want people to, see that you are their friend and blah blah blah. At times when you are even going wayward, that is, if you miss your way and you are expecting somebody to hold your hand like this, the person will come and hold your dress like this, meaning that the person don't want to touch you. But thanks to the teachers and the seniors who have been with, some of us for a long time, so they are able to bring those things under control.
I intentionally had to skip this, but let's go back.
Don't worry.
I met your wife.
Okay.
In which year did you get married?
2015.
2015?
Yeah.
How did you meet?
Oh. I attended a funeral of a friend who is also visually impaired. The person lost the father. So I met her there. We exchanged contact and we started talking.
But you could not see, so...
Yeah. You see, when it comes to marriage, it's not about seeing and whatever. It's about what God gives to you. I have 2 children, a girl and a boy.
You have 2 kids?
Yes.
A girl and then a boy?
Yes.
Is your wife also visually impaired?
She is, but she is partially sighted.
Okay, so she has some level of
vision.
Residual vision.
No baby, he said, "Me no kobia no me guide no na to me koba." But do anaju so a na difficult kakra ba me manage. Na nkola no so ti say we say no. There be aba program to me enya yi. Handle no say no say me handle me to me concentrate wo program na maba ase no me to me concentrate ma dwen wo no so see the be ya onko proud baby because I can't see far away. Mo from school kono. Sorry them kakra na normal I don't buy food for them. I cook in the house. So I wake up as early 4:30 or 5 to cook for them, send them to school before I come to school. As for my husband, he is very supportive, very caring. So whatever I need to, he provide them for us. And I also help him in so many ways.
Just like the everyday teacher, Robert puts together his lesson notes, which is brailled, sometimes typed, to help him deliver his best in class.
We have a lab in Accra, Society for the Blind to be specific, where we are trained of how to use the laptop using a screen reader software. So this software will read whatever information appears on the screen for you. So basically that is how we use it.
But how do you type? Because once it reads, maybe you want to make an input, you want to take some out. How do you do that?
We are taught everything, how to type. And normally we use shortcuts. We don't use the mouse. The mouse is not our friend at all. So normally we call the cat to come and deal with it.
Oh, okay.
That's on the lighter side.
He has always done this by himself until a teaching assistant was assigned to him.
I like working with him because he always comes to school regularly and he doesn't joke with his time when it comes to work. He's very serious at it. He doesn't wait for the children to come and call him when it is time for him to teach.
Robert loves sports, and during his leisure times, he listens to some commentary. Daniel Siandafo is a mathematics teacher at Intwaso SDA Basic School. He is also a very good sports fanatic, thus a great friend of Robert.
When I'm free, we would like to talk about football. He likes football a lot. He's either asking me which fixtures went on, which games went on during the weekend, the scores, those who scored, any apps that can help him monitor the football. And because of him, I've learned to also use the talk back option on the mobile phone. Because he uses the talk back, I've also learned how to use it. But most of the time, if I'm to use his phone for something, he puts off the talk back.
Cancel button. Save button. Keyboard hidden.
Done with you.
Other teachers and students also explained their joy in having Robert as a colleague and teacher respectively.
Sometimes after teaching, when it's about to mark, we the teachers around help him in marking. And then I also make sure I cater for his daughter when he's in class teaching.
He always wants us to have the ability to understand what he teaches. So he always wants us to be self-respected and also be honorable.
I like my RME teacher because He is very kind. When it comes to teaching, he will be humble and teach us. He likes teaching us with understanding. He always makes sure that whatever he teaches us, he make us understand it perfectly.
Before I said goodbye to Robert Mensah, I decided to also take some lessons in brailing.
This is the braille sheet, and this is the hand frame. So you insert, should I continue?
No, continue.
You insert the paper. A clip down, so just make sure it is well fixed. Then this pin-like object in my hand is called stylus.
Just like the stylus used on the phones.
Oh, okay. Yes. So normally we braille from right to left, but when we are reading, you turn the paper. After brailing, you turn the paper like this.
Okay.
Then you read from left to right.
Okay.
So tell me something to braille.
Okay, so my name is Shadrach. At every point, we relearn, unlearn, and then learn new things.
Yes.
We just had another interesting bit with Sir Robert Tete Mensah. He brailled something. He's teaching us. He's going to open this braille, and then we are going to read out what was brailled on the paper. So, sir, you can open it.
All right. So it's like this.
Okay.
Then you take the paper out, you turn it, then you read from left to right.
Like we do with our normal books.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have here,
my
name is Shadrach. I am a journalist. Anything I braille, I add full stop or I bring full stop. So I'm a journalist, full stop. Then I work with Metro TV. We visited Sir Robert today. The spotlight is on his daily routine. This is the full story on Metro TV every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's all.
Wow. Seriously, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I just tried. I'm having my fingers on this, but I don't know.
Unless you are taught.
Yeah, because I can't really identify which alphabet my finger is speaking and then at what time, because they look together.
In special education, we don't believe that let's say visual impairment or disability is due to witchcraft or spirituality involved. But you see, in Ghana, in Africa, we believe a lot of things. But in special education, that is out, because normally when you do that, you will not be able to, research into the problem and get a proper solution, because you have already concluded that it's a witchcraft. And you know, issues concerning witchcraft cannot be, scientifically, proved.
According to Helen Keller, if there is anything worse than being blind, then it is to have sight with no vision. One thing I have learned from these people is that yes, blindness is an unfortunate handicap, but true vision does not require the eyes. You call them the visually impaired persons. I call them the V.I.Ps because they are equally very important personalities in society. My name is Shadrach Odame Ejari. Metro News.